What if the voice in your head that keeps replaying every conversation, every decision, every mistake is not helping you? What if that voice is not protecting you? What if it is the very thing that is keeping you stuck, paralyzed, exhausted, and you have been listening to it your entire life? Most people think overthinking means they care. They think it means they're being careful, responsible, thorough, so they let it run. They replay the conversation from 3 days ago. They plan for every possible disaster that will probably never happen. They spend 45 minutes deciding what to eat, and they call it being thoughtful. But here's the truth. Overthinking is not thinking. It is your brain spinning in place, burning energy, going nowhere. And the longer you let it run, the more it convinces you that thinking more will somehow solve the problem that more thinking created. In ancient Rome, there was a philosopher named Seneca, one of the wealthiest, most powerful men of his era, advisor to emperors, writer, thinker, and yet he spent decades writing about one enemy that he could never fully escape, his own mind. He wrote this, and read it slowly because it hits hard. He said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Think about what that means. The thing you're afraid of, the conversation you keep replaying, the decision you cannot make, the worst-case scenario your brain has been constructing for weeks. Seneca is telling you that suffering is almost entirely self-created. The real event, whatever it is, will almost never be as painful as the version your overthinking mind built for you. Seneca himself faced this. He was exiled, lost his fortune, faced execution, and every time he wrote that the anticipation of the disaster was always worse than the disaster itself. The mind creates monsters. Reality rarely delivers them. This is the Stoic answer to overthinking. Not to think less, but to think correctly. To separate what is real from what your anxious brain is manufacturing. Because your brain is not a neutral observer. It is a threat detection machine. And in a world without real predators, it turns that threat detection inward, against you, against your own peace. Now let's go inside the brain, because overthinking is not a personality type, it's a neurological pattern. And once you see it clearly, you cannot unsee it. When you overthink, your brain activates something called the default mode network. This is the mental chatter system, the part of your brain that runs when you're not focused on anything specific. It replays the past, it simulates the future, it narrates your life in real time. And for most people, it never fully switches off. Here's the problem. Every time you engage with an intrusive thought, every time you pick it up, examine it, turn it over, worry about it, you strengthen the neural pathway connected to that thought. Your brain learns that this thought is important, worth returning to, worth protecting. And so it keeps sending it back, louder, more urgent, more convincing every time. A 2013 study from Yale University found that overthinking activates the same stress response as actual physical danger. Your cortisol spikes, your heart rate increases. Your body genuinely believes the threat is real, even when it exists only in your imagination. This is why chronic overthinkers feel exhausted without doing anything. They're running a mental marathon every day without moving an inch. But here's the key. The default mode network and the prefrontal cortex cannot both run at full power simultaneously. When you focus on something real, a task, a physical sensation, a present moment decision, the mental chatter quiets automatically. Not because you forced it, but because your brain physically cannot maintain both at once. Let's make this real. You know that moment when you send a message and then immediately start analyzing it. Did that sound wrong? Did they take it the wrong way? Why haven't they replied yet? Maybe they're angry. Maybe you said too much. Maybe you should have said it differently. And 45 minutes later, they reply with, haha, yeah. And all of that suffering, all of that mental energy was for nothing. Or you have a decision to make, not a life or death decision, a normal decision. And you spend days inside your head weighing every option, imagining every outcome, building elaborate scenarios for each possible choice, until the decision starts to feel so heavy that you just don't make it. And the not deciding becomes its own decision, the worst one.
This is what overthinking actually costs you. Not just peace of mind, time, relationships, opportunities. The email you never sent, the idea you never started, the person you never approached. Because by the time your overthinking mind finished analyzing, the moment was already gone. The overthinker doesn't think too much, they act too little. And every day they don't act, the thoughts get louder, the walls get closer, and the life they imagined gets further away. 4 steps to break the overthinking loop, starting right now. Step 1. Give your thoughts a deadline. When you notice yourself spiraling, set a timer, 5 minutes. Think about it as hard as you want for 5 minutes, then stop. Make a decision or drop it completely. Because overthinking thrives on unlimited time. The moment you put a boundary on it, it loses its power. Step 2. Name what you're actually afraid of. Don't just think, write it down specifically. I am afraid that this person thinks I'm stupid. I am afraid this decision will ruin everything. When you name the fear precisely, it shrinks. Because vague fears feel enormous, specific fears feel manageable. Step 3. Act before you're ready. Don't wait for certainty, it's never coming. The antidote to overthinking is not better thinking, it's action. Small, imperfect, immediate action. Send the message, make the call, start the draft. Because action creates information, and information kills overthinking faster than any amount of analysis ever could. Step 4. Interrupt the loop physically. When the spiral starts, move. Stand up, walk outside, do 10 push-ups, splash cold water on your face. Your default mode network cannot maintain its grip when your body is physically engaged. You're not running away from the thought, you're cutting off its power supply. Here's what I want you to carry from this video. Seneca was right. You are suffering more in imagination than in reality. The conversation you replayed 100 times, the person already forgot it. The decision you agonized over for weeks, either option would have been fine. The disaster your brain spent months constructing, it never came. Your mind is not your enemy, but left unchecked, it will build a prison out of thoughts and convince you the walls are real. Seneca faced exile and execution and wrote that the anticipation was always the worst part. You're facing a Tuesday, and you're letting your brain treat it like a war. If this video made something click, share it with someone who lives inside their own head, and subscribe to Brainora. Because every week we take the hidden mechanics of your mind and turn them into tools you can actually use. Not theory, not motivation, real understanding, real change. Stop thinking about starting. You already know what to do.